Good morning and welcome to this new edition of the morning briefing. Let's get started right away. In short, quite a complex situation, the one we are witnessing here. In short, a real revolution, frankly, in the markets. In light of all this policy of this new form of war, a trade war, if we can call it that is leading to changes in scenarios, changes in economic policies, changes in fiscal stimuli. So a situation that is absolutely evolving. It's difficult to make predictions, even though the path seems quite decisive towards a downturn. Today, there are important data. In short, there are the non-farm payrolls, and then Powell speaks right around 11 a.m. American time. So pay close attention during these time slots. I remind you that today is Friday, so be very careful, exercise maximum caution, reduce your size to safeguard your economic and psychological capital, especially, in short, right before the weekend. Okay? Having said that, from an operational point of view, in short, this is the Nasdaq on a 4-hour chart. In short, the decline continues. This is the target of this second wave. This was a first. In short, there was a nice retracement, a resumed recovery. The path, in short, seems like it could complete a third wave in this area. Here we will see if the data could completely reverse this situation, at least for today, and trigger some recovery. If we look in more detail, we see that we are, at the moment, the Nasdaq is operating within the BC3 levels. There's a bit of lateral movement, probably waiting for the data. In short, the non-farm payrolls. So this is the area to monitor between SD1, which also represent these RD1. It also represents these two lows here that were then broken. So definitely an area to monitor for potential upward attacks of this entire area. Here in the zone of the PC3 levels and of 1D Max. On the downside, I would obviously use as a reference this low recorded last night at 18,464. And it is definitely the area to monitor. Obviously, a break of this level could lead to, in short, wider movements. In short, today there are data releases, so it's definitely a delicate situation. Today, we look at the situation is obviously similar. Even if we look at a higher time frame, here it is. We have, in short, after passing the first level, we are below with the level we have monitored. As in short, what? The area that was supposed to hold, we have passed it. Unfortunately, so downward, unfortunately for the tones, obviously. But it is, in short, the scenarios are quite balanced. We have downward the area, in short, of the landing of this potential third wave. I deleted it earlier, but we can go and put it back. It was this one. It was this 5180, 5200 shadow 160. Sorry, I made a mistake. 5060. Approximately, this should be the product. We will see about this. We will see if and how this will happen. I repeat, the situation has changed a bit at the global level. There are risks and fears of recession. This could certainly lead to broader movements of in short, paths. Market crashes. Crashes in short, but a decline in the markets. We are obviously also looking at other American futures, starting with the Dow Jones, which is in a similar situation. The area to monitor is definitely the 40,000 area, which is a round number and could certainly lead to broader movements and bring the price even below 39,000. I remember an old level was 38,000, which was a level tested multiple times in the past. I might be wrong. I'm going from memory. But certainly 40,000 is the area to monitor. As for the Russell, obviously on the upside, we haven't mentioned it, but on the upside, thank you. We are going to monitor this area here The first area to monitor is that of today's BC3 levels. Okay. That information from last night, here they are. So this is the area to monitor for potential moves towards the 1-dim area. We will probably see the data in short. We will see what the data will be and how the markets will interpret it. It will be crucial then to understand the interpretation more than the data itself, essentially. I believe that in the end, it will be more significant for the day. More significant will be more meaningful during the day. Paulo's speech, which is not invited in itself. Okay, let's move on to the Russell, which is obviously in a similar situation. We have the area of 1900 at the moment that needs to be monitored for a downturn. At the moment, in short, the European markets are open for about 40 minutes. There has been a bit of a dip and it has settled on SD1. In short, the situation here is also very delicate because this trade war will certainly bring benefits to the economy, but it will take time. So in the immediate future, there will be some suffering. Certainly, small and medium-sized enterprises at this moment are the ones that could suffer the most from all these changes. So let's monitor this area for potential bearish attacks from the area of the lows and upwards. I would monitor this area here between 1925 to 1930, which is bounded by these two BC3 levels. So a break of this area could easily lead to a test of RD2. We still have to look at oil. Oh, here it is, oil as well. Indeed, amid the fears of this, yes, it's true, of this recession, indeed, of this economic slowdown from this trade war that will certainly lead to difficulties. In short, a bit general for everyone. It's pulling back, indeed. Quite a bit has exited from that nice channel we had. This is a chart. At 1 hour, it had exited from that nice channel we had that we were, in short, that we were following. It had exited, re-entered, then you see here it couldn't quite re-enter and then it took off. In short, the definitive pullback which first led to a test of the lows from which, in short, it was. In short, this first base was formed as a rebound, after which last night, in short, it broke right through those lows. Now we are working on it. We are working just below it. Here they are. So it could be a false breakout, maybe a new attempt to rise, and thus with a break of 67.20. The price could certainly return. However, considering in light of what we are saying about the economic crisis and everything due to the announced economic slowdown, from everything in short, it now seems to be a given. Clearly, in short, oil not is affected by the resulting lower consumption. We are obviously also looking at gold, which was not able to update the highs. The last highs updated on Wednesday. There was then a significant pullback. It recovered with good volumes, but then it was not able to update these highs. So absolutely, this is the high to monitor, potentially for a first break and a first attempt again at the area of the recorded highs. At the moment, we are working a bit below the range of the BC3 levels, but between SD1 and RD1. So absolutely, definitely within the norm for the early hours, waiting for the opening of the American markets, especially as a result of the news and Powell's speech at Powell's press conference. So this could create anticipation. Also on the compotes, therefore, between monitor, array, RD1 and SD1. Throughout the entire morning, obviously, a break of these two levels could lead to a higher movement. There could also be a test of this low recorded right at the opening. In short, it could easily happen that then it corresponds to today's low area, and then it could easily start again. The movement, in short, has been wide, so we have this range at the moment that we can handle is 30.73, so we might also stay here for a while. We'll see how things develop. Let's also take a look, of course, at SPX again. You see, this is always the famous chart on 4 hours that I haven't touched. We can simply remove today's levels. Here it is. This, in short, was the level. This was the level I hoped they could hold to possibly remain in this limbo. But unfortunately, the attack happened and it was rejected immediately. There was a gap opening, obviously, after Trump's speech. The announcement of tariffs. Now we broke yesterday. This level, we are heading towards the target of the second wave, which was 5100, 5110, 50, 510. That is the area, in short, that could be the landing point. Here it is. In short, this is the level here. Perfect. That said, we have reached the end of this morning briefing. As always, I invite you to leave a like on the video. We'll talk later in the chat. Thank you all for your attention.